Yo, what's up? This is the champ, Alfonso Gomez, and you're watching Ed Magik TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Will Be Blood Fight Show. I'm your host, Dave Duenez. While I'm over here in La Habra Gym with Alfonso Gomez. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying myself. We just had a Christmas party here for all the community around that doesn't have the luxuries of other people. So they came here, they had food, they had presents that were donated. And, here,
Just
giving you an interview.
Great,
enjoying
man.
myself.
So, how have things been for you? I mean, after the last time we saw you was against Miguel Cotto, right? Mm-hmm. What's new for Alfonso?
Well, after the Miguel Cotto fight, I felt like I reached the point in my life that every boxer looks for, to fight for the world title. I had the luckiness or the opportunity to actually do it, since a lot of boxers don't. Mm-hmm. And after that, I kind of felt like this whole world got lifted off my shoulders. So many years of training for this moment. I went to the fight and I lost. But I just decided to take the rest of the year off just to analyze things, just to think about stuff, enjoy myself. It had been 18 years of, training, coming in and out always. The first 5 years as a professional before the contender, I was constantly training because any second they would call me for a fight, since I was always the opponent.
Right.
So, after the contender, then came harder fights and harder training, so just resting.
Just
That's what
resting it
happened.
up.
Yeah, analyzing stuff. But now that it's the end of the year, getting ready for next year, which I'm really excited about because I want to do, kind of like a comeback thing.
Okay, and the comeback in 147, or are you planning to go back down?
Well, my plan is to actually go down to 140 pounds, with a new mentality, a new way of training, because I've been training differently. I've been looking at the best boxers in the world, seeing why they're the best, why they do that others don't, or what that I don't, how come I'm not there. So I've been incorporating a lot of their styles and a lot of the strategies and a lot of their mentality into my training. So I believe that coming at 140, I'll be strong. And with my new mentality, my new training, I'll be, someone to be reckoned with at 140 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you still have your dad in your corner, or did you pull somebody else new? And what are the preparations that you're doing to prepare yourself for 140?
Well, right now, what I'm doing is just running a lot, staying in shape, trying not to gain a lot of weight, because definitely going to 140 is going to be a challenge in itself. Mm-hmm. So, and my main purpose is that, through all this Christmas and holidays, hopefully I don't gain too much weight. But yeah, some tamales, pozole. But definitely, before my next training, my next fight, before my next big training, I want to be like 150, 152. So making 140 will be much easier.
Right on. Okay. Sparring partners to get you ready. Are you eyeing anybody, really to try to prepare you to go back to 140?
No, sparring partners, I think I liked what Freddie Roach said on Manny Pacquiao, that he doesn't get sparring partners. He fights fighters. He spars fighters, which, make him that much better. So, I don't want to spar people that are just going to help me something. I'm going to come into the sparring already ready to put into test my new style, or whatever you want to call it, my new way of training, my new me.
The new regimen of what you're going to do.
Me, yeah, the new regimen.
Okay, so let's kind of go back, okay?
Yeah.
Came out of the Contender Series. You were fighting at, I believe, a middleweight, right at the time?
Yeah, 160.
Okay. So big guys you were kind of facing, and you were the little guy out of the whole camp, right? Coming out of there, you get your shot at with Arturo Gatti, which you looked great. Your right hand was just landing freely. You had a good rhythm. Then you get in with Ben Tacky, the same thing. You had a good rhythm. Going with Miguel Cotto, looking back now, what do you think that might have affected you where you didn't get to have that rhythm?
Well, like I said, it was many years of training, and even during the Arturo Gatti fight, I was really excited about. I was excited about the fight, but excited about the training. But at the same time, I would get up in the mornings, be like, another day. I didn't have that, that enthusiasm to actually do it. You know, I trained hard, pushed me. My dad pushed me. At that time was Pepe Correa pushed me, and everything came out great with Arturo Gatti. Then with Ben Taki, I broke my hand, but still, you know, I would wake up in the mornings with that same feeling that another day, another day, another day. But I would still go through the same, you know, regimen, through the same trainings. So after breaking my hand, definitely my training for the Cotto fight was not at all good because I couldn't spar that well. I couldn't. With my sparring partners, I would just like try to jab him, try to hit him with my right hand. I didn't really train like I had to. And, you know, circumstances, I got sick, this and that, whatever, all that happened. But I think more than anything, that was like more my mental state, you know, that my hand was hurt, I was tired of the training. Now you're fighting Miguel Cotto, you got to train so hard, but I can't because my hand hurts. So going through all this, I went into the fight, you know, just going at it, you know, hoping that something happened. Nothing happened, but like I said, after the fight, like all that pressure that I had been going through fight after fight after fight after fight got lifted off my shoulders.
Right.
So now I feel like I'm gonna come back, you know, kind of like when I started as a professional, really hungry to train all the time and to show people, to show each fight what I learned from my previous fight and stuff like that.
So would you consider this loss that you had with Cotto a good thing for you? I mean, it sounds like right now life, you know, what's everybody does, everyday life, just everyday problems kind of got built up on you. And then the pressure of being Alfonso Gomez also kind of built on your back too and just kind of weighed you down a little bit more than what. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is the difficultness of being a figure of boxing, a guy that kids look up to, and being a pretty humble guy yourself.
Oh, definitely. And also, you know, just to talk a little bit about my other side of me, I've been, you know, my brothers and I have been doing music for about 8 years already, you know, and my brother has been singing for 10, and, you know, we've been into music all our lives too, so we have a band, which I also concentrated a lot, so I didn't know how to manage my time either. You know, I had all these things I had to do to promote fights, I had to train, I had to do my music, so all these things, I didn't know how to manage them because they just started building up, they started to grow and grow and grow, all of it. So, you know, after the Cotto fight, I sat back, I just decided to think what's more important, what's less important. So now, you know, boxing is definitely number one. You know, we have the band Hybrid, so all of you can go hear the music and love it like I do. and also, you know, the company, I have a recording company that also is working, but now I know how to manage it better because now instead of me doing everything, I got people working with me, working for me, or putting their hands together in all aspects of me. That way I can just be more organized. So now, like I said, after all that, it's like all this big chaos, you know, now I can see it like a nice structure and, you know, it seems like a better way of going at it.
At 140, who you eyeing right now? I mean, you know, you're thinking about 140, you're preparing yourself mentally, but really, who out there at 140 are you kind of looking at and saying, okay, this is who I have to work for to get to?
All right, well, I am looking to fight, hopefully, Ricky Hatton next year. You know, I would love to have a fight with him. He's a pressured fighter, he doesn't quit. And honestly, I've been looking for a fight like that where I can be there fighting someone. You know, when I fought Gotti, I thought I was going to get that fight of the year type of fight where was gonna have banging with each other, boom, boom, but it didn't happen. You know, he would try to box me, and the fight ended. With Ben Taki, you know, I decided to box him because I broke my hand. And with Cotto, you know, we didn't get the opportunity to actually exchange punches, which is not in the fight. So maybe with Ricky Hatton, we can have that, you know, back and forth fight, 12 rounds, 10 rounds, however much it lasts, and have kind of like a fight of the year. So definitely, fighting him would definitely be something that I would look forward to, that I'm training forward to, because I think after beating him, fighting someone like Manny Pacquiao or maybe a rematch with Cotto would be, you know, as easy as just going for it probably.
Right, you would be up there to be able to call out these guys and stuff. There's a fight actually that I would like to see personally, being a huge big fight fan and also being a fan of yours and stuff, is this guy kind of has your style, but I think you guys resemble each other a little bit. But how about a fight? And to me, I think that'd be a fight of the year if you went against Carlos Valdemir.
Definitely. A fight with Carlos. I didn't even think about that. That would definitely be a good fight to think about. But isn't he like 154?
No, I think he's back at 147.
Yeah. Well, maybe my next fight or my other next fight after the next fight, that would be a good fight to before fighting someone like like I say, Ricky Hatton or someone before that, to fight someone like him at 147, 140. But like I said, my main aim is to be at 140 and make noise there. So, I'm thinking of lower weight classes right now.
And really, I think if you being added to 140, it just kind of spices it up, you know what I mean? It's like plain menudo having some chili in it.
Well, there's no, wait, is there a Mexican at 140 that's causing a lot of noise?
I don't think so.
There you go, people.
I don't think so. Unless Marquez decides to go up to 140, being 135. I mean, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
He is chasing Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
How about that fight there?
Well,
How about calling up Marquez? Said, hey, you know what?
Well, since De La Hoya fought Pacquiao, why not me and Marquez? I mean, it makes sense, right?
It does make a lot of sense, Speaking about Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao, did you watch the fight?
Yes, I did watch
What did you
the
think
fight.
about the fight?
Well, I sparred actually with De La Hoya for 2 or 3 of his fights. It was like against Campas and mostly 2, I think, and another one. And he definitely did not seem like De La Hoya that night. But I think it was just accumulation of stuff, like his age and all the fights he's had, and maybe he concentrates now more in promotion and trying to be a superstar boxer than like the hunger that Manny Pacquiao has.
Exactly.
But I guess that's life because it happens to every boxer.
Right.
He did it to Oscar, to Chavez. And Chavez did it to Zarate. Back in when he won the title. So it goes back to the history, and somebody's going to Manny if Manny decides to stay long enough.
Right.
So I guess right here it's about the athletes, like the sport controls you rather than you controlling the sport. And every boxer goes to it. I still remember that La Hoya said he was going to be the first boxer to retire when he was 30 years old.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't happen.
And I do remember telling my dad, I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Because, I don't know, I feel like it's not going to happen because nobody does it.
Why do you think that so many fighters decide to stay a little too long in the fight game,
Because you only realize it's too long when it's too long. That's the thing. Maybe it was too long one fight ago, but he looked good, he won money, he could probably do it again. So people don't realize it's too long until it's too long, so... That's why you're there. You always want that. You always want more. That's why I'm there.
Right.
I have dreams of doing other things.
Right.
But I'm still into boxing because it's kind of like a drug that you need. You need to have that fame. You need to feel the punches. Sometimes I punch my brother, so I just feel that. Hey, what are you hitting me for?
Yeah.
No, it's just like something you need.
Well, there's a saying.
Imagine 18 years doing something, or 20 years at La Hoya. What, 25, 30 years?
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stop being you because that's him. After so long, that's you. You can't stop being you until you're forced.
Yeah, that's so true. I think it was a sad night for him. But I wouldn't be real by saying what I'm going to say right now, which is I think a lot of Mexicanos were just upset that he took this fight and did not allow a Mexican to take this fight from him, to pass it down. I mean, you being, Mexicano too, how did you feel about how the fight, the fans that are Mexicanos kind of turned on him about this fight?
Well, more than anything, I feel bad for him because all his life, he fought to be accepted by the Mexicans. I mean, that was like his big thing. It was De La Hoya and the Mexicans. Well, he likes him or not. So all this time he fought for that. And to have his very last fight, because I think it should be his last fight, to be the most un-Mexican way you can be by quitting, then that's like the worst. If you fought all your life for something and the very last opportunity you have to do it, you do the opposite, that's bad. I mean, if I'm fighting for something all my life and I don't accomplish it in my very last fight,
right,
and that kind of sucks because I did the opposite. He quit, He kind of
right.
That's it. It's not like he died there, like, sorry. It's not like he died there, he just punched there or like lost, like many great Mexicans lose, but So I kind of feel bad for him for that.
Absolutely.
In that aspect.
Speaking about Julio Cesar Chavez, He's got a son. There was a rumor a while back that you called him out. And was there any truth to that rumor?
Well, I didn't call him out. I just said that, I admire his dad a lot. He's my idol. I think he's the best Mexican fighter ever. Next to Salvador Sanchez, but Chavez #1. And, I know that he wants to take that spot, that the next Mexican idol, that one that llena las arenas, that fills the arenas.
Right.
But I had the dream way before his kid even started boxing, because I started boxing with that dream, being the next Mexican idol. I wanted to be that. So now that he wants that, and I've always dreamed of that, I just said that, how about we fight for it? Who the next Mexican idol is going to be. So if that's calling him out, I guess I did. I just wanted to, I kind of like added 1 and 1 equal 2 to me, kind of thing.
If he called you out and said, you know what, I got nobody else out there, nobody wants to fight me, would you leave 140 and decide to jump back up and fight and face Julio?
Well, he will be the only fighter. I think I will fight at 154, because I don't think he can make 147 anymore. Because I did get a call from Top Rank, my manager, Bob Aaron called my manager, and they say, how about a fight next year in January or something like that. So, the talks are there still. Even though I want to drop to 140, he would probably be one of the fighters I would make an exception.
Absolutely. Okay, Alfonso, I want to kind of get into some of your stablemates. Sergio Mora, East LA, right? He had his shot with Vernon Forrest. He won. Then he loses. What do you think happened there with Sergio Mora?
I don't know. From what I read or viewed on YouTube and stuff like that, I think he just didn't train enough. So I guess that's what happened.
You didn't watch the fight?
Yeah, I did watch the fight actually, and just Vernon seemed more prepared. The first time when I saw the fight and Sergio won, I was very happy for him because he's finally a world champion. And but Vernon did not look like Vernon. He looked like a very tired Vernon, and still got the majority decision. So I just thought that if Vernon came prepared this time, he was actually gonna maybe win, unless Sergio really came super prepared, like over the top, like different. But knowing that Vernon came prepared and Sergio then did not come prepared, then it was gonna be like totally obvious.
Right. I think he thought maybe Vernon was done. Was not going to have the stamina to keep up with them, and he just kind of turned around. It kind of looked like a reverse from the first fight.
More than anything, I think, like fighters now that fight older fighters, they just think, oh, he's going to get old overnight. So, obviously Hopkins proves that that doesn't happen. Also, Calzaghe got a lot of fighters that just, when they're older, they're just stronger and faster and better, more experienced. So maybe he just took that into effect, like, oh, he looked old that last fight. He's going to look older in the rematch. But, I guess when you lose, you get rejuvenated.
Right. Anthony Basante. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
He gets knocked out. He gets dropped.
Oh, yeah, with the referee, and he gets all that.
And he pretends that he's knocked out, and it looked like he was doing a little bit of the $1 Million Baby type of acting and stuff. And then after the ref counts 6 and waves, he jumps up. What do you think happened with that guy?
I don't know. I think he was actually knocked out, like a flash knockout. But, he's very impulsive, that guy. He's very impulsive. There's no in between him. He's either like real good or really like, So I think in a mind like that, when he's knocked out and he hears like, what the fuck? He's like, oh my God, I'm knocked out. He gets up real quick because he realizes he's knocked down.
Right.
But he was knocked out those seconds that he was like that. It was just like a weird flash knockout. But his mind is so powerful that he realized he was knocked out, so he gets up real quick.
Right.
But you were out, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was out. I mean, his eyes were closed.
That's my explanation for that, because if I try to explain it that he just pretended and got up, it makes no sense. It just makes no sense why he would do that. A lot of people dissed him, though. That was not good.
I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I mean, as a fight fan, you're sitting there and you're kind of wondering, okay, what was he thinking, and why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize a televised fight and lay there like you're acting and then jump up, and then he's screaming at the ref and he's screaming at everybody, I'm all right, just get away from him. Still staying with the contenders, though. how about a fight with K9? You know, he seems to have some success, or another contender guy. You know, why not bring this back in? You know, you really have a big fan base coming out of contenders. The other contenders from other series have a good fan base now. Why not make something like that and you can make some money?
Well, honestly, I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to be known as a contender guy, so I'm trying to get, all this contender against contender promotion. You know, that was good when it helped me, but I think I want to stay away from that, because I just want to be Alfonso Gomez, Alfonso S. Gomez.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be the contender guy. I know I will always be grateful for that, because it was a great opportunity to expose my talent and the way I am and everything about me. But I mean, I guess you only get to a level with certain things, so you have to move on.
Right.
And that's what I want to do.
You kind of want to just get away from that whole stint of being a reality TV guy and people to recognize you as, I'm a real fighter. I'm a real, guy that gets in there and works hard for what I earn.
Well, yeah, I don't want to. It's not that I'm recognized as a reality star, because now it's been so long that people just see us as real fighters, but they only call us the contender guys. And I don't want to be the contender guy. I'm Alfonso Gomez. People say, oh, that's Alfonso Gomez. Oh, Alfonso, what's up? Hey, Alfonso. You're like, hey, wasn't that a contender guy? I don't want that. I want to be, that's Alfonso Gomez. So, no, I'm not going to fight contender fighters.
Margarito is going to fight Sugar Shane Mosley. What do you think about that fight?
Man, that's a hard one, because if you think about it, Cotto kind of like was able to manage Margarito's pressure for like 6 rounds, and Cotto's not a great boxer, so after the pressure got to him, then the whole thing happened. But mostly he's a boxer. He can outbox all night Margarito, but can his legs stand the pressure? Can then mostly stand the pressure of Margarito? So that's going to be the question. If he can, then he is going to outbox him and just win the fight, because that's the way you beat Margarito, outboxing him, just moving around, as being just there like that.
Right.
And but if he's not, then yeah, he's going to get boom.
Now, when you said Cotto's not a great boxer, I know hardcore fans are going to be like, what? What do you mean?
Well, sorry, old Miguel Cotto fans.
He did outbox Shane Mosley.
No, he definitely outboxes. He's a good boxer. But, like when you remember Miguel Cotto, compare Sugar Ray Leonard, you say Sugar Ray Leonard, oh no, that guy's a boxer. Sugar Leonard is a boxer. He's a boxer.
Right.
Mosley's a boxer. You can call those guys a boxer. Maybe Miguel Cotto is a puncher, counter-puncher, but he's not a boxer. So, sorry if he's not a great boxer, but he's definitely a badass counter-puncher. I'll say that. And a badass pressure fighter, but it's okay, a boxer.
How hard does that guy hit?
He hits pretty hard. More than hard, he's very precise. Kind of knows where to hit. He just knows where. Boom. Yeah.
When you picked the venue, Atlantic City, do you think that kind of played in it too? I mean, that was a pro Puerto Rican crowd. You're there. You're kind of like the guy that walks into a room full of enemies. Do you think that kind of got to you too? Like, oh man,
No, I mean, it didn't get to me in the Gotti fight. I just very concentrated on what I have to do. But no, it didn't play. It was just bad night.
There's a lot of young kids that want to get into the sport. I see a lot of kids on YouTube and, get emails from here, and the fathers are saying, hey, what do I need to do to get them? What kind of advice, man, can you give, since you've been little and you work with your dad? What kind of advice can you give out to the young guys?
Well, I just want to tell them that if you're going to get into this sport, you have to understand what's involved. And it's a lot of sacrifice. And, more than anything, more than any other sport, because like in soccer or basketball, football, if you get injured or hurt, they just replace you. But there's a whole bunch of line of substitutes there. In boxing, it's just you. So, you have to sacrifice more than anything to make it to the top. And more than the ones that made, if you want to be bigger than the ones that made it on the top, you got to do a bit more. So my advice to them is to take it seriously. Don't just be a body bag for the ones that actually take it seriously. Don't be a body bag. If you're gonna get into sport, be the fighter, not the opponent.
Right on, man. Okay. Alfredo Angulo, you sparred with him. How good is he?
He's real good. He puts a lot of pressure, but at the same time, I believe he gets hit a lot. You know, a lot. You know, because I spar with him and I hit him a lot, but he still keeps coming, hitting me hard. So I move around, try to box him because I would never push him back. The only way I can push him back if his pressure is not working, he's going to try another strategy. But if in his mind he's pushing and pushing, he's not going to stop. But he gets hit too hard. So you know, there's a lot of fighters that are good like that for 20, 25 fights, but then they start to decrease fast.
Right, decline and stuff.
So you know, I spar with him and I told him that you should move your head more or try to block more.
How about Chris the Nightmare Oriella? Have you seen him? And what do you think about him?
Oh, Chris Ariola, definitely. I want to say hi to him. Yeah, I think he's making a lot of noise. You know, I remember I would see him at the Wildcard Gym. So I would speak to him all the time. And, you know, he was just doing his thing, and suddenly he's making noise and winning and winning, looking impressively. So I am rooting for him to be the next heavyweight Mexican champion because he has a talent. He definitely is Mexican. You know, he doesn't quit. He's there, Mexicans. And he can do it, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, and I think he'd be a great added addition to really start bringing back the casual fans that have left our sport to MMA, bring them right back to where it's originated, a blood sport. Definitely. It's our sport. You know, Alfonso, man, I appreciate you taking your time, man, coming out here with me and chopping it up and talk boxing and stuff. So I want to congratulate you on everything you've accomplished. And, you know, I'm a fan of yours. Loved it when you came out, man, and can't wait to see you at 140, brother.
Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you, everybody, for watching. There will be blood show. That's it right here. And I just want to invite everybody to check out my website, alfonsogomez.com, MySpace too. Check out my video blogs and check out Hybrid. And other than that, 140 pounds next year.
And you also have a YouTube account too, where people can go in and
watch definitely. I do have a YouTube account where you can watch my fights, the build-up episodes that they're being better and better each time. You can watch video clips, just a whole bunch of stuff. You know, just you want to know more about me.
Now, if you do set up that fight with Carlos Baldomir, make sure you give me a shout out, brother. Say, hey, I took this fight because of David Duenez, okay?
All right. David Duenez, you heard it here first.
All right, brother.
Cool.
Well, there you go, guys. All the info that we wanted with Alfonso Gomez. I'm your host, Dave Duenez, on the Will Be Blood Fight Show with Ed Magik TV on YouTube.com.